Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and we're going to take a look at how we can create a Cities of Sigmar army with just 3 box sets. Now, that's what we're going to do in this video, so we're going to take a look at these 3 box sets, which will be the Start Collecting Greywater Fastness box set. You can see pictured here to begin with. We'll then be looking at the Regiment of Renown Boxen, Norgrim's Rune Throng, and finally we'll look at the Steam Tank, which will be the last box set to add to our list. Now we're going to go through all these box sets, talk a little bit about them all in turn, and then show you a little sample army list of 1,000 points, putting it all into practice for a nice, relatively easy to collect army for the Cities of Sigmar. And so, with that said, first of all, we start off this army with having a Warden King. This is a Dwarden miniature. Most of the models we're going to talk about in this box set are going to be Dwarden keyworded. Now, he's got 5 wounds, 3 up save, Rune Hammer with 4 attacks, 3 threes, Rune 1, damage D3. His Oathstone will, in your hero phase, you can say he'll stand atop his Oathstone. He can't move during the turn he does this, but in addition to this, until the start of your next turn, do not take battle shock tests for dispossessed units wholly within 18 inches of him. Now, his Ancestral Grudge is a command ability he can use. He can pick an enemy unit within 18 inch of a friendly hero with this command, so himself. And until the end of that phase, add 1 to the attacks characteristic of attacks made with melee weapons used by dispossessed that target said unit. So, pretty nice little buff, +1 to attack. Now, he's joined by another hero in this box set, which is the Cogsmith. Cogsmiths are fun. First of all, they've got the ability to heal some war machines for D3 wounds, and they free arm as well. Add 1 to the hit rolls for attacks made with this model's missile weapons if he's not armed with a cog axe, or you add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made with this model's melee weapons if it's not armed with a grudge raker. So he's actually got, in the model here, has got both the grudge raker and the cog axe. So no, free stuff there, but he's got both. The grudge raker's a nice D3 shots, 4s, 3s, round 1 damage, 1 ranged attack. He's pretty dirt cheap though at 60 points, so he's all about just healing up your war machines. Now we then have 10 Iron Breakers / Iron Drakes. This is a dual kit. First of all, Iron Breakers are a standard battle line unit for the Cities of Sigmar. You're going to get Iron Breaker weapons for 2 attacks, 3s and 4s, no rend damage 1. Remembering that can be turned up to 3 attacks with the Warden King. They've got a base 3 up save, which is really nice as well, and you've got a little bit of shooting coming out of the Drake File pistol from the Sergeant. Other than this, you've got Cinder Blast bombs as well, where in your shooting phase, a model armed with said Cinder Blast bomb can throw it once per battle, and they can do D3 mortal wounds on a 2+. Now, other than that, you've got the option to build them as Iron Drakes, which are not a battle line pure unit, but they can become battle line if you've got a Dwarden General, which we of course will be doing in this video because just what we've got on the box set. Iron Drakes are a really solid range unit, so they are packing out 1 shot with their Drake guns, 3s, round 1 damage 1, and they blaze away. They add 1 to their attacks characteristic if there's no enemy units within 3 inch and they've not made a move in the same turn. They've got Cinder Blast bombs that are just the same as the other, but they've also got the ability to add 1 to save rolls for attacks made with missile when you're targeted by missile weapons, which is nice, putting them to that 3 up save. The Grudge Hammer Torpedo is a nice damage D3 weapon, but does turn into D6 damage when targeting a monster. Now the last kit we've got in here is another dual kit, which can be built as either the Gyrocopter or Gyro Bomber. Now the Gyrocopter is the cheaper of the 2 options. It's got a steam gun, which hits all models within an 8-inch range, 3s, round 1 damage 1. Or you've got the Gyro Bomber, which is the slightly more expensive option. The Clatter Gun, 4 attacks, 4s, 3s, round 1 damage 1. But it's got its Grudge Buster bombs, where after this unit's made a normal move, you pick an enemy unit and roll a dice for each model in that unit that passed across from any enemy unit. For each 2+, the enemy unit will suffer D3 mortal wounds. Now the next box set we are talking about is soon to be released by Games Workshop. This is the Regiment of Renown box set called Norgrim's Rune Throng. Now this contains 20 Iron Breakers and Iron Drakes, the dual kit once again. We're not going to go through talking about them again, we've just talked about them in the previous slide, but you do get a new character model, which will load down a 1,000 point list with 3 nice character options. This is probably the best out of all the characters. This is the Rune Lord. Now, the Rune Lord's got the Runes of Spellbreaking, where it can attempt to dispel an enemy spell in your hero phase, and attempt to unbind one spell in the enemy hero phase as well. You add 2 to dispelling and unbinding rolls with this model, which is pretty cool. And then he's got his own prayers as well. So Ancestral Shield, you can give a 6-up ward to a friendly unit, and Forge Fire, you can allow a friendly dispossessed unit hold within range to improve their rend of their attacks by 1. This is really cool, especially on something like Iron Drakes. And so lastly, we have a Steam Tank. This is just a single miniature. It can also be built as a Steam Tank Commander, which is pretty much the same model. It's just going to get the character keyword on there, which is pretty cool all in all, and has a cool command that works with other Steam Tanks nearby. But we're just going to go for the regular Steam Tank for the purpose of this video. Now, the Steam Tank is a artillery piece, so it is going to benefit from the rules like your Rune Lord being able to heal it, thanks to having that War Machine keyword. It's got its nice big cannon, the Steam Cannon, with 1 attack, 4s, 2s, Rend 2, damage D6. And then it's got a Steam Gun at close range, 8-inch, 2d6 attacks, 4s, potentially 2s to wound, no Rend damage 1. You've got the Steel Behemoth rule, where it can do some mortal wounds where it grinds its enemy underneath. And it's also got a damage 2 Rend 1 attack with D6 attacks in combat as well. You can also apply more pressure to get some extra attacks in the Steam Gun and some extra movement for the model as well. Other than that, it's a 3+ save base model with 12 wounds. This means it can get down to that all-important 2-up. It can be a really survivable piece to add to your force. And so here we have our sample army list for the cities of Sigmar. Now, we have chosen to go with Grey Water Fastness just because that's what the Star Collecting Box is telling us. All the narrative points to this, but I actually think we've built a really fun little army here. Now, we've gone with Take What's Theirs. Our army, surprisingly, is going to have some cool movement shenanigans in it. Now, the first of these is because of the command trait we've gone on our Warden King called Ghoul-Mere Ranger. In your shooting phase, friendly units hold within 12 inch of the general can shoot even if they ran. This is pretty cool. This allows our Iron Drakes to move and run. We can stand and, make those choices. Yes, we lose the attacks when we move, but this does give us a lot of movement options. It also applies to things like the Gyro Bomber and the Steam Tank in the list as well, or even the Cogsmith. Now, we've then given our general also Steam Piston Plate Mail. This gives him +1 save, and if he doesn't have a mount, which he doesn't, he adds 1 to his move characteristic as well, making him nice and fast. Well, fast for a Dwarven. We then have our Cogsmith, and we've got a Rune Lord who's going to be our general's adjutant. This just means while he's near the Warden King, we can generate some extra command points potentially. And he's gone for the Universal Prayer Curse, but because we're playing in this particular sub-faction, we are also going to have the Rune Lord, which is Rune of Unfaltering Aim for +1 to hit on a War Machine, so nice. And then we've also got another +1 to hit built in, thanks to the Cities of Sigmar command, Salvo Fire. Our Iron Drakes can get +1 to hit as well. Now, battle line wise, we've got a unit of Iron Breakers and 2 units of Iron Drakes. Remembering the Iron Drakes become battle line thanks to having a Dwarden general. We've got our Gyro Bomber. You can have a Gyrocopter really if you want. It probably will really help you if you go with a Gyrocopter. Potentially almost always guarantee you have that triumph. And then we've got a Steam Tank rounding out the force. Inspired, we're 30 points under currently. If you go for the Gyrocopter, you've got 40 points under, so there's a decent chance you're going to get that triumph here, regardless which way you do it. Everything is wrapped up in a battle regiment for 1 drop with 62 wounds, no reinforced units, and no allies. And so that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and also drop a comment down below letting us know what you thought of the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server which is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel, either by Patreon or YouTube members, or by grabbing yourself some channel merch from our Teespring or Ko-fi stores. As a special thank you to all our Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out for their amazing support. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lyle, Outer Shot First, Andrew Bowen, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cader, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Nicholas Conomos, Colorblind Magic, Daniel Etherington, and Andy C. And a special thank you to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Weir, James South, James Tillman, and Dylan Areno. lastly, a special thank you to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see here on the channel. Thank you for everything. And also a massive thank you to all our moderators on our Discord server and everyone that comes and helps film the battle reports on the channel. Thank you all once again. Stay safe, everyone. Stay well. And most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.